I'm back and I'm back and I'm better. Let me make a poll. Like the video. Phew. Phew, 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 phew. Where's my remote? Before the end of the night. Uh-oh.
Ladies, welcome to Love House. It's nice in there. Yeah, come on, it's beautiful. Can we get you ladies anything to drink, water or champagne? Some water actually. Yes. Yeah, water please. And this is going to be our fabulous little area here. Hi, I'm Christy. I'm going to be your stylist today. We're going to be over here, so if you want to just drop bags.
1, 2, 3.
We also can kind of chat just a little bit about what you envisioned. It's going to be a beach wedding, so I don't want anything like too crazy. I don't like a buffet dress. I kind of want something that's like not tight.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I said great. Did you have any ideas? No, I had a brief kind of idea, but now I can't remember. This is another one that's really pretty on with the split.
Until people show up. Eat my patacones. Rolando was popping, bro. That sounds good, bro. I just got finished eating. Well, I mean, I'm still eating, but technically this is supposed to be an appetizer, but I saved it for the end. I feel you, bro. Take your time. Take your time, bro. I have no idea what sauce I'm eating. Bro, I've only read the Quran. I've never read anything else. Anything I've read from the Bible has been simply because it was like popular and visible, but I've never like picked up a Bible and opened and read it. Patacones, yeah, bro. I literally just finished the last one. Look at the top, bro. This shit, they call it suero costeño, but I really feel like it's just sour cream. Like, there it goes. That boy got sick. You ever seen that internet debate between countries on if it should be gripa or gripe? You need to stiff arm them kids, bro. Oh, God. Messed up your algorithm, huh? Electrolyte. I think it's cultural. Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, I think about the Canelo fight, I think he's gonna fuck Jaime Munguia up, but it's my personal opinion. I think Jaime is a tough kid, but God, this pillow's mad uncomfortable. Where is it? The bed? I don't know. I think Jaime is a tough kid, but Canelo's a different beast, man. When you haven't fought someone at that level, it's hard to just step up under those bright lights and beat somebody like him. But you never know, man. Every dog has his day. At some point, Canelo was the young kid that took out old fighters. So, I mean, Canelo's not old, but he is old for an athlete. 20 years in the sport, that's a long time, bro. It's a lot of wear and tear on your body. You never know. But Jaime Munguia, no defense, just all Mexican toughness, bro. There's no defense about him, so I can't see him beating a counterpuncher. I keep telling them no me toque. How's the recovery going? Yeah, bro. I'm walking slowly but for surely. It's just I mean, as you can imagine, I haven't walked in basically 3 months. So anytime I put my foot down, it feels unstable. Like sometimes, I mean, I can have like a couple steps when I'm walking, okay, but like randomly, if I shift my weight the wrong way, like it buckles, it feels like I'm gonna fall over and shit. And so, um, like in the house right now, I can walk with, I usually just keep my cane, but outside, like this Saturday, I'm gonna go to Will's house and I think I'm gonna have to rock a brace on the most unstable leg. So I think I have my left leg bare and my right leg. I think I have to rock a brace just to be safe. But yeah, I'm walking, man. No pain. Yeah, no pain now. Just pain like during the therapy because we're like trying to bend it further and stuff. But as far as like there's no pain when I'm walking and stuff. And I've begun to like step up and down stairs in therapy. So It's getting better for sure, man. Gerald Pinkins, this is live? Nah, bro, this is in the past, man. You're confused. You're dreaming. Wake up, bro. Chiefs gang. This is really Lafayette. What's up, bro? That's good. There's no pain. Yeah. I've heard the knee buckling goes away. Like I said, I'm in a group with other people that have had the same surgery, and so I got to see a lot of people's journey and see like what the timeline is, and a lot of them have buckling like even like 6 months out, bro. So it's gonna be a long process, man. But it is what it is. A long time no see, I know, bro. Wesley said he just took a shot of Jack and a bong rip. Bro's having a good night. It's Thursday night, bro. I swear I'll never take being able to work out for granted again. Facts, bro. Facts. This is your first time being on a live on YouTube? Well, congrats for landing on this one, bro. You're in a good spot. We talk about all kinds of random shit up in here. What part of California do you live in, Wesley? I really don't know that much about California. I don't even know why I asked you that. I know San Francisco, the Bay Area, and Oxnard. That's it. Riverside. Riverside, motherfucker. I don't know where Riverside is. I just got back from Puerto Rico. What part of Puerto Rico were you in, bro? Your legs healing? I don't know. That's just a funny question. Like it would be funny if I was like, nah, bro, they're like not getting better at all. But yeah, they're healing, bro. I'm on my way. Just trying to get used to walking again and shit. I'm trying to take a certain amount of steps every day. I really want to go to Bakersfield and the Bay for some reason. I've been to Oxnard, I've been to LA. I think that's it. I don't know where Bakersfield is at. An hour from LA, pretty much. How close is Bakersfield to Oxnard? Or not Bakersfield, sorry. Where did you say you were at? Riverside. How close is Riverside to Oxnard? 2 hours east? Oh, never mind. Snapped your arm? What you mean, bro? What were you? I'm guessing you were doing your job, but when you say snapped, like bone or muscle? Oh, your girl from Carolina. I wonder what part. Some of Carolina is real rough. No, Gerald is not Lafayette. Chiefs gang is Lafayette. Boom. Wait, Chiefs gang is Lafayette, right? Mike just confused me. Let me finish chewing. It's the chewiest Snicker ever. Ah, yeah. Should I go buy her 40? Hell yeah. Mapa. Nah, Mapa is dangerous, bro. But you're right. I mean, I think that about everywhere. All the trenches, bro. It's always good people. You know what I mean? There's some bad stuff that goes on, but most of the time in the worst spots, bro, people are so nice. So nice. But Mapa is definitely bad, bro. Mike don't be drinking no 40s, man. Man said 40 caliber. I wasn't even thinking of guns, bro. I literally was thinking about a 40. I thought bro was gonna go get a paper bag with a 40 in it and drink it outside the gas station. Got caught negrito for a week. That's normal, bro. That's good though. You know, the good thing is if you learn Spanish from Puerto Ricans, bro, the rest of the stuff that you hear will sound tame in comparison. So that's the ATL. Gotta be, bro. I'm like, what are you talking about, dog? But bro, how did you snap your arm playing football, bro? I'm guessing you got tackled and planted your arm down. That's the only thing I can really think of. It definitely don't sound like what I've been learning from. I had to switch listening to mostly Chente interviews. Hey, Chente, that's the best. Those are the best videos on YouTube, bro. There you go. If you want, I could tell you some more channels, but I don't know where your Spanish is. But Chente has a good, like as neutral as you can get Puerto Rican accent, because he's very professional. And most of his guests are pretty understandable too. But I got some other podcasts that are harder to understand. But like I said, I don't know where your Spanish is at. Competence. Threshold, where did you learn that word and what does it mean to you? Share an opinion on Aguadita. I don't really have an opinion, bro. I don't know. I don't know enough about Aguadita to tell you anything, to be honest. I know the places I've been. I know the real bad places. And then I know it just kind of depends, but like the whole west of Puerto Rico is getting like real gringo-fied, bro. Like all the like super beach spots and shit like that. What are the real bad places to stay out of, bro? To me, you're not gonna accidentally end up in those spots, bro. If it's a caserio, bro, like you're not gonna accidentally end up there. And everywhere else, you're not gonna be in that kind of danger. But it's like the caserios are so like you're obviously going into them. It's just not. It's not something that you need to be like, oh, I need to make sure I don't end up here. I mean, if somebody tells you like, "Hey, yo, we about to go to the caseria," like I'll be like, "No," but yeah, they're like projects, bro. But like I said, you would know that you were going, and like plus, if you were like in an Uber or something, bro, they probably wouldn't want to drop you off there. If it's nighttime, they'd just be like, "Hell nah, I'll drop you off over here and you can walk there, but I ain't driving up in there." I'm at a weird point because I understand way more than I speak. Trying to practice speaking more every day. That's not weird, bro. That's just how work. That's how language acquisition works. It's just like a little kid, bro. Like a like let's just say like a not a baby, but somewhere in between an infant and a toddler. They can't form like real complete sentences, but if you tell them like, "Hey, pick that up and bring that to me," they'll understand it. Like they have a good enough comprehension to understand like commands and very, very basic stuff. You start talking to them about like medical terminology, of course they won't understand. But yeah, it's pretty normal to understand a lot more than you can say. Still reserved. My man's going through it, bro. Have you heard of the gentrification drama in Mazatlan? No. What happened? Mike Ben and you really big inspirations. Follow a lot of what y'all said in your videos. I'm in ATL right now. Respect, bro. Appreciate you. Shit, you close to Mike, bro. You can't be in that mappa without knowing somebody for real. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, bro. And in places like that, uh, Jordan Torre, like you're not gonna just be walking up in there. You're not gonna be like, oh shit, I ended up with Los Diablos on accident. Like, nah, bro. Stone Mountain. American retirees keep complaining about the banda music. Yeah, that really doesn't surprise me at all. I think I've actually seen this. I think I've seen that. I don't think I knew where it was, but I just saw a video like that not too long ago. It was like a group of old white people, and they were like mad that somebody was playing banda. But I think that's why people have such problems with gentrification, bro. Like it's already just one thing that you're displacing the people, but sometimes I think people are like, it is what it is. That's capitalism, like whatever. But it's when you do that and then you try to fucking change the culture of the place of the place that you're at. Like I've heard in Mexico City and a couple other places that the restaurants have to tone down the spice on the food that they make because they get so many complaints from Americans. And I'm like, all right, see, that's you're taking it too far, bro. You're taking it too far. But the money is the power. So they're like, man, these American customers that might leave a $10 tip or something, bro. Like I gotta make sure I get them what they want. And that's the real problem that people have. Like you don't just buy an apartment. You change everything when you come. Have you had the chance to go to Cartagena yet? No. But watch out for the scammers there, bro. Especially if you don't speak great Spanish, they will get your ass. About to head to bed, bro. Oh man, you didn't tell me like what exactly happened with your arm before you go. Like what did you break? And what's it looking like, bro? Gentrification waters down the authenticity of a place. Yeah, facts. Why would you go to a unique place and complain about its authenticity? I don't know, bro. I really don't know, but that's what tends to happen. Uh, yeah, that's the way it goes, man. Which is why people get upset when they start seeing those people flooding in because they're like, I already know what's coming next. We're gonna lose everything, bro. That happens here too, not in Cali, but in Medellin and stuff. Like people get mad that people aren't speaking English. It's like, bro, you are in Colombia, bro. Like you are not in America. You can't even get mad if people ain't speaking English in America. How you gonna go to another country and get mad that they're not speaking English? I've seen so many TikToks from Colombians where they're like, so it finally happened to me. I was in line and this white lady yelled at the guy and said, how do you not understand what I'm saying? And so it's crazy, man. Really crazy and sad, bro. But I'm not saying everybody because obviously I'm American, but a lot of Americans have a real like entitlement, bro. Like they think that the world revolves around them. And America is real the customer is always right. Like if you really wanted to, bro, you could argue every time you went into a restaurant and get your meal paid for, shit like that. But it really just doesn't work like that in other places. Like, or you can complain as much as you want here. They're just gonna tell you to get out. The manager might not even come, bro. So, but because of that culture that we have, like, you can complain about so much shit. You can sue people for everything. Like, oh shit, your fries were hot. You burnt your finger. Sue McDonald's because they didn't put a good enough warning on the bag. And that shit leads to real bad attitudes. We just think everything should happen the exact way that we want it to. We think it should be super, super timely. It don't matter what the restaurant or the business owner has going on. I don't care. Why is my shit not here in 10 minutes, bro? So, I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of miss that. I miss like ordering shit on Amazon and it coming the same day. But I don't get an attitude here if I can't get something. I'm just like, whatever. But I have seen an uptick in people moving to Mexico. Seems to be the new spot. Get a remote job, move to Mexico City. That seems to be the move for a lot of people. I actually remember right before I came out here, and this was real crazy to me, but I try not to judge people too much. Right before I came out here, so what was that? I don't know, but I trained this kid. I trained this kid in boxing, and his family was Mexican. He was Mexican. Um, so I went to his nephew's baptism, and I went to his graduation party, his high school graduation party. And at both of those, there was this old white dude there. And bro, it was the craziest thing ever because um he had nieces, or not nieces, he had granddaughters that spoke only Spanish, and he didn't speak any Spanish. And I ended up talking to him because I was like maybe one of the only other people there that could speak English. And he heard me say something to Kevin in English. He was like, "Oh, you speak English?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I do." And he was like, "Man, it's nice to hear someone speak English and blah blah blah." But anyways, I started talking to him. But he said he retired in Mexico like 15 years ago. And I was like, "You still ain't learned Spanish?" And he's just like, "Yeah, I've been trying." He's like, I'm learning here and there." And I'm like, "What do you mean here and there, bro? How do you live in Mexico for 15 years and you can't speak Spanish?" Like I said, I try not to judge because what if he has a learning disability or something like that? I don't know. But I'm like, bro, you married a Mexican. You moved to Mexico. You got kids and grandkids that only speak Spanish. And you don't speak Spanish. That's just crazy to me. You in the boxing, you like Tank. Who you think can beat him? Here's what I think, bro. I think if he's on his game, nobody in his weight class can beat him. Honestly, I used to not rate him so much, but as he put on more and more performances, I'm like, yeah, bro, his ring IQ is just way too high. And so here's the thing, I say that, but then I'll still say this because he's such a power puncher and a counter puncher. He's always looking to end the fight with one shot now. He used to be more of a combination puncher, and now he's always looking to end the fight with one shot. So he loses a lot of rounds because he's like, I'm going to end up knocking you out. So the way that he would lose, and he could lose to somebody like Frank Martin on June 15th. I doubt it, but it could happen. If it did happen, the way Frank Martin would beat him would just be putting rounds in the bag. And then once he has enough rounds, he needs to stay away from Tank and not get knocked out. Because Tank is willing to lose a lot of rounds just so he can knock you out. He's just downloading information, then bam, you're gone. So, if you look at his most recent fights, even little dude Hector Garcia, he's putting up a good fight until he got stopped. Um, Mario Barrios was putting up a good fight until he got stopped. So he loses rounds. He just hits so hard, bro. He's so smart, and the way he places those shots. Like I said, if he's on his game, nobody beats him. Nobody, bro. I'm learning here and there. Retirees are good for that one. Yeah, bro, that shit. Like I said, I was trying not to judge. I was trying to keep my face like pretty neutral. I'm like, okay, that's good. But like, bro, literally, like his granddaughters would run up and like say something to him in Spanish, and he would be like, "What?" And like literally, just like, "What?" And they would be like trying to say it in English at that point, and then he'll be like, "Oh, you want some Coke?" And I'm just like, bruh, 15 years. 15 years in the country, bro. I'm like, how do you navigate life? Like, what's happening every day if you're not speaking Spanish? Like, does he just stay in the house and his wife goes and does everything or what? Like, I don't know. I don't know, bro. But Mike, I think we talked about that before, bro. Like, people think like, oh, I'll just move here and it'll just I'll just absorb it, but it's not necessarily like that. Like you do have to put in effort, which we already know. We know people. I mean, we learned in country and then we visited other places. But that's the only thing about like about living here. Now people just don't believe that I was speaking before I came here. Because before, if I talk to someone in the United States, they'll be like, "So you've never been to South America or Latin America?" I'm like, "Nope." And then they're just like, "What?" Now, if I like tell someone how long I've been here, they be like, "Oh, well, that's why you speak like that." And I'm like, "Nah, not really, because I was already speaking before I got here." But they just don't believe it. So, and that's probably gonna happen when I go back to the States. I talk to somebody, I'm gonna be like, "Well, I did live in Colombia for a year, but that's not why I speak Spanish." But they not gonna be trying to hear that shit, bro.
Hola, mi vida. Espero que estés teniendo bien divertido. Esta chévere aquí.
I'll be back. You ain't coming back, bro. You about to be knocked out, bro.
¿Cómo sientes? ¿Estás bien? It's okay, baby. It's okay. You're okay. Todos son bien. Todos okay.
You think I should listen to more podcasts so I can comprehend better versus listening to Puerto Rican podcasts, having to look at the subtitles most of the time to really understand what they're saying if I'm trying to learn a dialect? Here's the thing, bro. I got like two different minds about that. The thing is, when you're learning as an adult, I don't really think it's important to focus on the dialect so much. Like all of your content doesn't need to come from a specific place because even though I don't know if it's your girl or your wife or what, but I'm just gonna say your girl. Even if your girl is from there and you're gonna be visiting there, you're still gonna encounter a lot of other people in life in Georgia and wherever that don't speak in that dialect. So I just think it's good to kind of absorb everything. You could still like have most of your content dominated by Puerto Rican Spanish. Like, uh, it just so happened that my friends were Puerto Rican, and a lot of the stuff that I listened to was Puerto Rican, and so I didn't even try, bro. I didn't try to have like a Puerto Rican accent or something, and people just always tell me that I sound like that. So I don't really think that you have to focus on it so much. Especially like if your girl and her family's from there, like a lot of the stuff that you learn is just gonna be that. So uh, yeah, just I think you should just listen to stuff that you like, and if it happens to be Puerto Rican, that's better because your girl's from there. But do you think Mexico is the top Latin American boxing country in history or like right now? because in history, yeah, it's kind of not debatable. I don't think there's another country. No, I don't even have to say I think. I think I know there's no country that puts up more belts besides the United States. But right now, um, like there's Canelo and a few other dudes, but Mexican boxing is not really going crazy right now. To be honest, like there's a lot of up and coming Venezuelans, Puerto Ricans, and Argentina is starting to produce some too. Don't know why, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Mexicans. I think that their strength is also a big fault. It's kind of unacceptable to move around and evade punches if you're Mexican. So you fight like that and you lose fans. They want to see like high guard, walk the person down, take a bunch of punches, hit him with a liver shot. That's what they want to see. And so the thing is, you dominate C class fighters, B minus fighters. But if you fight someone that can move well, if you fight someone that isn't scared of you, then you look crazy. Like I don't know how much you watch boxing, but Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez basically couldn't touch that motherfucker the whole fight, bro. And you know, everyone does the same thing. They get frustrated, then they do this, and they're like, "Come fight me right here." And it's like, no, like I just won every single round. Why would I do that, bro? Like you can't even get close to me. You get close to me, I smack you, and I walk away. So I think that's their biggest problem right now. Canelo, he's real good. The rest of them depends. Uh, Luis Neri is about to fight Inoue on Monday. He's about to get knocked out, so that's gonna be another Mexican down. Uh, but yeah, in history, Mexicans top notch. Bad things. That's what I've been doing. Yeah, I would just keep doing that, bro. Like I said, I got. It just depends on what you like, bro. Cause I follow so many podcasts on YouTube. A lot of them are combat sports podcasts, but I got some other ones that are music. I always think it's so. Yeah, like I said, Chenta is like general public, right? So he's got pretty neutral Spanish, and they're talking about popular topics. But when you follow more of like the TikTok generation, you get way more of the current slang. They talk a lot crazier too, so it's hard to keep up with. But you get more of like how people talk today versus it's just like if you listen to like 50-year-olds talking English, they don't really talk the same as us. They're speaking like a real I don't know like adult professional manner. Like, do you consider Jake Paul a real boxer? I do, man. I get a lot of shit for saying that, but I'm always like, bro, the dude is fighting professional fights. Like, and the thing is, he has no amateur career, bro. And so I'm like, I don't know who people want him to fight. Like, I figure it's like, man, he's fighting ex UFC champions. I'm like, bro, the dude didn't even have 10 fights, bro. Like, your favorite boxer, go look at your favorite boxer's first 10 fights. I guarantee you he didn't fight not one person that had a winning record. When you first start professional boxing, you fight people that are 0 and 2, 0 and 10. Your next fight, you fight someone that's 1 and 5. Next fight, you fight someone that's 1 and 3. The first time someone fights someone with an even record or a winning record, it's a big deal. So that's just normal, bro. Like, but people just hate him, which I understand. He's not a likable person. So they're like, oh man, he's not a real boxer. He's not fighting world champions. I'm like, bro, only the best of the best are fighting world champions. How would he fight a world champion uh, in 4 fights? Like he don't have the experience. He hasn't even earned the right to fight a champion. Why should he fight a champion? Um, yeah, even somebody like Vasily Lomachenko, motherfucker lost his second fight ever because he took too big of a step up. This dude is a two-time Olympic gold medalist, and he lost his second professional fight because they did the same thing to him. They kind of like, well, you shouldn't be fighting these guys because you already have two Olympic golds. So he fights someone that's a vet and he loses in his second ever fight, bro. That was like a crazy upset. Um, Same thing happened to Robesi Ramirez, Olympic gold medalist from Cuba. Did he lose his debut? Yeah, he lost his professional debut, bro. Trying to take too big of a step up. When you turn pro, you have to fight nobodies to learn how to fight pro. You've never done it before, bro. Like you can't just go out there and fight some dude who's 30 and 0. He will literally kill you, bro. Like it won't even be close. That's why they're vets. That's why you climb up the ranks, and like I said, you fight gatekeepers eventually. You beat someone where they're like, all right, I think he might be able to fight someone that's good now. I mean, you saw what happened. Motherfucker fought, what's buddy's name? Tommy Fury and lost. Because that was someone else that was not a complete scrub. That's what happens. I've only been learning 6 months and speaking for 1 month, but I feel like I'm progressing good for how much I can understand. But the goal is to speak. Yeah, that's good. 6 months is super early, bro. No matter how much you think you know now, 6 months from now, a year from now, you'll be like, damn, like, I ain't know shit back then. I think that every year. Every time I learn new stuff, I'm just like, so what have I been saying this whole time? Or what did I think other people were saying this whole time? Like, it's way too famous to fight nobodies. But, alright, I'll propose you the same question I propose to everybody else. Who do you think he should fight?
Pienso que con Brandy todavía no somos las mejores amigas. Drake, ok. Pero me gustaría que con Brandy tengamos una mejor relación y que en el futuro quizás ser hermanas. So how is it living with mom? This is the first time I've been with Annalie alone, and I'm actually just interested in getting her drunk and finding out who she really is because drunk words are sober thoughts.
I kind of don't like that expression. Drunk words or sober thoughts. Sometimes they're not, bro. Sometimes motherfuckers just drunk, bro. Good question. I don't want to see him fight nobody's for real, but that's what I'm saying though, bro. Like, you have to fight nobodies. Um,
It's okay for now, but I would like to.
like, let's just say at cruiserweight, no matter who he fights, if he wins, you'll say that dude wasn't good enough, and if he loses, you'll be like, see, he's not a real boxer. He's not good. Not mentioning that there's what 500 other dudes in the division that are getting their ass whooped on a daily basis. Like there's other dudes besides Jake Paul that are losing every single time they step out there, and they're fighting worse people than he is. Being famous don't give you skills, you know what I'm saying? So he's literally just not ready to fight a champion, and he wouldn't deserve it. Like if he fights a champion, that means he just took a spot from somebody else that worked their ass off to get there. He shouldn't get it just because he's famous. I think just because people want to see him get his ass whooped, they want him to fight someone better. But he didn't earn that shit, bro. You have to work your way up. Like imagine fighting for 10 years, bro, and you're like, yo, if I win my next fight, I should be able to fight the champion. And they're just like, hey, yo, sorry, bro. I know you just worked your ass off, but Jake Paul's famous, so we're gonna put him against this guy. You just be like, what the fuck, bro? Like I just worked 10 years to get here, bro. Like, so you know, Jake Paul's never gonna be a world champion, bro. That's just what it is. And he'll probably lose a couple more before it's all said and done. He's got a nice right hand, but he just ain't. He's just not built like that, bro. You could tell. You could tell when he fights someone else that could potentially hurt him. He fights totally different. You could tell when somebody's built like that. He's not. So he's never gonna get a crazy big fight. He might get somebody like I can see Conor McGregor taking that fight. Conor McGregor will whoop his ass. I can see that happening. But against a real boxer for a title or something, he's not getting that shit, bro. They would have to pull a lot of strings, and even still, I just think he will always lose the fight before the championship because those guys in the top 10, top 20, bro, they're so much better than everybody else that he would have no chance, bro. Like, he would have no chance. There's a... I could talk about this all day. I know a lot of pro fighters, and whenever I heal up, I'm gonna do a pro fight. At least one. Probably a couple, but at least one. And if I told you how the pro circuit works, bro, like a lot of these dudes that are like 20-0 and shit, they've never fought someone as good or better than them before. And the moment they fight someone in the top 50, it's destruction, bro. Destruction, bro. I could show you a lot of dudes. I could pull up a lot of names right now. There's a dude from Puerto Rico, bro. He's actually a real good example. His name is John Bausa. And so Bausa whooped this dude, Michael Williams Jr. Michael Williams Jr. was undefeated, but everyone knew, all the commentators even going into it, they're like, yeah, he's 20-0, but he's literally never fought anybody good before. And this dude got knocked down 5 times against John Bausa, bro. But John Bausa's next fight, he fights Richardson Hitchens. John Bausa didn't win a single round in that fight. The separation between the very best in the weight class to decent to garbage, totally huge differences. What about Logan? Logan sucks, bro. Hola, amigo desde Argentina. Che, boludo. ¿Cómo estás vos? Last thing, what you think about him versus Tyson? I think Tyson's old as fuck, bro. And I really wish that this fight wasn't happening. I think that the rules are stupid. They're using big ass gloves and they're only doing 2-minute rounds. Just don't fight, bro. If you gotta do all of that shit to protect Mike's brain because he's so old, why are you letting him fight? They should have said no, like our morals will not allow this fight to happen. Sacrificing Tyson to the machine, bro. I'm not gonna lie, he has a chance of not getting hurt because the gloves are so big, but I don't even know still, bro. Like, he's almost 60, bro. There's just only so long that you can stay youthful, bro. That motherfucker was getting knocked out at the end of his career. What was that, 20 years ago, bro? Like, I do not want to see him fight a 25-year-old or however old Jake Paul is. He might be 30, I don't know, but Mike definitely got 30 years on him. Like, dog, I don't want to see that shit, bro. I do not want to see that, bro. It's a little different if you're older but you've been fighting. Like, for instance, Shane Mosley was like 40 when he fought Canelo, and Canelo was like 21. But Shane Mosley was still fighting. It wasn't like he was out of the game for 10 years and came back. That's a huge difference, bro. When's the last time Mike's fought? Don't know. He had a little exhibition joint with Evander Holyfield, and then he did it with somebody else after that. I can't remember who. Or did he? Whatever. Either way, he ain't been in a real fight in a long time. Jake Paul has. So if Mike can manage to survive that, good for him. I don't think I'm gonna be able to watch it, bro. I just can't support that shit, man. I wish it wasn't happening. Very, very crazy, man. Very, very crazy.
When I walk into the engagement celebration and I want guys with just time stands still. And it finally
90 Day Fiance is so funny.
what we fight for. And my heart just like skips a beat. And that's when I know like that's like my
I
soulmate.
heard it at
That's
work,
like
and in my words, it means that you are able 99.99% of the time. Oh, you're talking about the word competence. Man, it's been so long. I was like, what are you talking about? Okay, that's a good personal definition of the word. I think if I had to give my own definition, I would say that you are capable of doing something well, whatever well is to you. But yeah, I'm about 99.99. That's a pretty high percentage, man. Threshold, where are you from? I'm very interested.
how many more days you going to stay in Moldova? Leaving tomorrow. Are you leaving tomorrow? Really? So when are you going to see you again? Summertime is coming and I have to get back on stage performing. So I don't know when I'm gonna have time off. He might be back and he might be
Texas.
by then,
Wait, you've never heard competence in your entire life until this point? Or whenever you learned it recently?
I think you have to
I talked about this with Orlando last time. I'm always like super interested
want to hear it. Don't be so sure.
in the fact that we can go so long without hearing a fairly common word. It obviously you might not think it's common, but it just depends on the people that you're around. And but yeah, I find that very interesting. What part of Texas are you from?
Very nerve-wracking to be put on the spot.
My dad used to tell me something
Quite some time.
when I was a kid. I mean, he still says it to this day. But anytime I would say something, he'll be like, "That's an excuse." And excuses are bridges that build. Excuses are what is it? Excuses are something that build bridges to nowhere, and they're the tools of the incompetent. I can't even remember it. I said that shit so many times in my life because he would force me, and I can't even remember the expression now. Excuses are monuments of nothing that build bridges to nowhere, and they're the tools of the incompetent. Something like that. But whatever. I've been hearing that shit since I was 3 years old, so I had no choice but to learn the word competent and incompetent. So I'll be like, what the fuck is incompetent? I'm 21 and I heard the word a few months ago and I was thinking the same way. I wonder how I never heard this word before. Yeah, it's just like that, man. There's so many words. There's so many words in English, bro. Sometimes it just doesn't apply to your life, especially because a lot of times competence and incompetence are used in professional like work settings. So at 21 years old, you probably haven't worked that long, that many years of your life. I started working when I was 16. So even if you started at 16, you've been working for 5 years. Maybe now you have a job where your competence matters, but when you're 16, 17, 18, it's probably not something. The word competence probably doesn't get brought up for fry cooks and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that crazy that you haven't heard it, and you probably have heard it. You probably didn't care when you heard it. Yeah, like how I was only familiar with the term vicarious in religious context, and you never heard it in a religious context before. Yeah, exactly. I don't know enough about religion to have heard that in a religious context, but uh, yeah, it's just normal, man. There's so many words. I wonder if I ran Leandro off with my Argentinian accent. Che, Leandro, te fuiste. Incompetent equals inept. Here's the thing. Here's my thing, bro. I hate using one word to describe another word because I'm always like, they're not the same word because they're not the same word. So there's always a context that you can use the other word in that you can't use the other word. uh, they can be largely interchangeable, but there's almost always a time that you can't use the other one, which is why it's a different word. So I can't stand like when Will used to teach me Spanish, and even now, if I hear a word that I just really feel like I don't know, I'll hit Will up and be like, hey, "What does this mean?" And he'll be like, "It's the same as this," and I'm like, "It's not the same." So like, what's the difference? And then he'll be like, "There's no difference," and I'm like, "So I can say this any single time." And he'll be like, "Well, no, you can't say it there." And I'm like, "Exactly, bro. Exactly. It's not the same." Could you say that phrase your father told you when you were younger again? Bro, if my dad heard me right now, he would be like, I can't believe you. Because he used to like force me to recite this shit, and now I can't think of it. Excuses are monuments of nothing that build bridges to nowhere, and those who use them are no excuses are monuments of nothing that build bridges to nowhere. The tools of the incompetent, and those who use them something. Bro, I genuinely can't remember, and my dad would kill me if he heard that, but he's not here. But I guarantee you, if you just type like half of the words I typed in Google, uh, I'm sure there's some expression that will pop up like that. Bro in the strip club, he about to get in trouble. I told you that. Wow. Tapping in. What's up, bro? You're right. Even though they're using similar context, they are a bit different. Yeah. That's almost all synonyms, bro. And it's funny because with people that either learn a language second or people that are just using a thesaurus, they always fuck it up. It's not good to just look up a synonym and just say I'm gonna use this instead. You definitely have to learn the context, uh, or it can just be. It can just sound so weird that you're just like, nah, that's not it. I don't really have a good example right now, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Chilling, man. Probably gonna KO soon. Trying to watch a little of this 76ers next game. Who you going for, bro? There's a ton of words in English of Germanic origin that are basically used as Latin origin words. What does that mean, bro? I'll reach out to you tomorrow. Get some dialogue with you about recovery. For sure. Such as regret and repentance. Repentance. Regret is of Germanic origin, and repentance is of Latin origin. Why does that matter though? What is the significance of what you're saying? Does it really matter where they came from? Regret and repentance, they convey the same meaning? Maybe. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. They might convey similar meanings. Obviously, repentance is of Latin origin because, like, arrepentido. But I think that they're a little different in my head. But that's the thing, too. Like, once you cross over languages, like, certain words have certain connotations, and like to me, you repent has a real religious connotation. Do a drill and repent. Que vuelva, que vuelva. For instance, in English, I can say, I regret buying those shoes. Spanish, me arrepiento de haber comprado esos zapatos. Yeah, but that's my point though. Repent in English doesn't convey the same meaning as regret. It does, in a sense, but you can't use them interchangeably. So I don't know if I would say that they convey the same meaning. It's like saying that like aggressive is the same thing as angry. You could be angry and aggressive, but to me, those don't convey the same meaning. Precisely a religious context. Yeah. Yeah, language is weird, man. It's really weird. Especially because, like I said, when you cross over languages and you cross over cultures, it's almost impossible to do a direct comparison because the reason that the word was invented, the use of it is just, it's not the same, you know. Like I said, don't really have a very specific example, but you know, a lot of cultures in the past were super, 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 super religious. So a lot of words have very religious meanings, which is why like a lot of stuff in Arabic, you try to translate it, and it's like it sounds super religious, even though it might not be now. But like the word was invented for super religious people. Goodbye in most languages has something to do with God. Goodbye means God be with you. Adios, adios, you know. So it's all in those times, pretty much everything has something to do with God. If you cross over to another language that was invented later, maybe, and it's gonna be hard to convey that same meaning. Kind of want to watch something else. Do you like stand up comedy? Yeah, I love stand up comedy. If it's good. I should say, it's actually me saying I love stand up comedy means that I see a lot of good stand up comedy and I don't. I love stand up comedy when it makes me laugh, which is not often. Давай.
They want me to sing my song. I have not done a sound check in this place. Not done a sound check in this place.
Are you trying to get the Puerto Rican accent? No, I'm not. I don't try, bro. That's just who I learned from. So it just comes out like that. But it never in my life have I ever been like, I want a Puerto Rican accent. I just talk like that, bro. Even now, I've been in Colombia for like close to a year now, bro. And people still say I sound Puerto Rican. I just be like, damn. It's stuck now, bro. Boricua Jaden. Got a choice now, bro. And now I'm about to go back home too, back to Texas. All the people I know in Texas are Puerto Rican, so I don't got no chance now, bro. Like, if it's bad now, it's gonna be worse now. See what else can I play? Well, the thing is, I think if I tried real hard, I could get rid of it. Like if I really wanted to sound Caleño, bro, I feel like I could. I got a good ear for accents. I know how to like imitate them and shit. But I feel like I would have to like do it for so long that I just like I'm not. I'll have to fake it until I make it. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like doing that basically. But you know, kind of like when you have a conversation with somebody and you start like picking up their accent. That happens sometimes when I talk to people here, but it's not strong enough to take it off. Shane Gillis, yeah, he's cool. William Montgomery, I don't know who that is. You gotta describe him to me. Yeah, you mean like Wallahi. Hey, hold on. Wallahi is very religious though, bro. That's super religious. If people are using that in a non-religious context, they're on some other shit. Like Wallahi in my household, bro, that was like that was the last stand, if that makes sense. Uh like my parents might have known I was lying, right? And they might let it go. But if they really need to know, they'll be like, "Did you do it?" I'll be like, "No." They'll be like, "Say Wallahi," and I'll be like, "Dang, I can't say Wallahi. I can't lie on God." So then I would just tell the truth. Back to Texas, yeah, bro. I got like a month left. No pressure. Give me your best LA accent in English. Ah, bro. See, I'm an imitator though, bro. Like I hear it and then I can do it like almost perfectly. But if I try to do it from my memory, I try to think of like when you do accents, you just have to think of you have to think of a key characteristic that they do, and that's what gives you the sound basically. So for LA people, the ones that I know, it's like instead of saying like car right, they say core. Like park the core, homie. Shut the fuck up and park the core. Like that's how they talk like that. So if you get that and you get like one other sound that they make and you just say like two sentences, people be like, oh shit, like yeah, you really sound like that. LA, New Orleans, Atlanta, New York. Uh like I said, bro, without hearing it, that's tough, bro. You put me on the spot. I ain't say I was an impression master. But like I said, if I hear it, that's a lot easier. I have an Andalusian accent. It's hard to talk to other Spanish speakers. Why is it hard to talk to other Spanish speakers though? News to me, actually. I think I saw you mention it on Twitter. Yeah, bro. It's been a good little year. I had fun. You actually did that one well. Alright, you put me on trial. That was a good impression. Yeah, like I said, I'm a little crazy, man. So when I be by myself, I'll just be talking to myself in different voices and shit. But like I said, if you could find like two things that somebody does in their accent that like separates them, usually you could do a pretty good job. Just say Wody. People don't really say Wody that much. You know, people be saying that in Florida. That's what really threw me off. But yeah, for New Orleans, you throw in a what's down, Jeremy. What else? I can't think of nothing else right now. But you throw in two or three things and just get some of the sounds they make. I've been known to even record myself. The YouTube shakes I watch say it a lot. Well, they're religious. But yeah, man, I used to do a lot of accents on social media back in the day, especially on Twitter. Snapchat too. Snapchat had those filters where you could like, uh, you could upload a picture and then put the picture on your face. So I would get like mad different celebrities and I would just listen to clips of them talking and I'd just be like, okay, like, what is he saying? And I'll try to run it back. And then I would do it on Snapchat. And people be like, yo, you sounded just like Jay-Z. That's crazy. But like I said, I can listen and mimic, but if I try to do it from memory, I probably fuck it up. New York is the hardest to imitate. Like I said, bro, you probably just don't. Maybe you don't know that many people from New York, or you just don't know like common things that they say. But New York is weird, bro. Like when I lived up there, I was telling someone this in a group chat one day. There was so much different slang and expressions compared to what we say in the South. Like I remember, like when I first got up there. Nah, not when I first got up there. The first year I was up there though. When the winter got there, you know, they would say, "Damn, son, it's mad brick outside," and I'd be like, "Mad brick." And like, bro, like that's so weird that I couldn't even get it in context when they would say it. And then I'm just like, eventually I was like, oh, this shit means cold. But I'm like, the fuck, mad brick? Like, why? Oh, damn, it's brick. I'm just like, what the fuck? Andalusian cuts way too much pronunciation of words. Yeah, I mean, I know quite a few people from there, but uh, I wouldn't imagine it would give you two. Wait, are you learning Spanish or are you a native Spanish speaker? Stupid. Yeah. Oh, you're a native Spanish speaker? That's weird though. I mean, I suppose that makes sense. I'm not gonna lie, like most Spaniard accents, I won't say I struggle to understand it, but it just sounds really weird to me. Like the rhythm is like so different and the words. But people from Andalusia usually, to me, they sound a lot closer to Caribbean Spanish since that's where Caribbean Spanish came from. And so I don't have as much difficulty understanding people from Andalusia compared to anywhere else in Spain. That's a very interesting YouTube name you have. That one guy. That one guy won. And so, do you live there still, or have you moved somewhere else? I had a sheer friend who tried to convince me to become Muslim a few years back. That's part of the reason I felt compelled to research Islam. I think I think trying to convert people is weird, but I get why some people do it. They feel like they're trying to save somebody, but I feel like that's something people gotta do themselves. I live in the USA now. What part of the USA do you live in, my friend? How long have you been there? Northwest. Bro, that could be anywhere. I'm gonna guess you live in, let me see. You would only say Northwest if you're probably in the Pacific Northwest. You wouldn't want to live there. If you were in Cali, you probably wouldn't have said Northwest. You would have just said West. So you're in Oregon or you're in Washington. Oregon sucks. So I'm gonna say you live in Washington. But then again, you're not from the state, so your idea of the Northwest might be different. You might not be talking about the actual Northwest. I've also heard people say Wallahi used probably in sacrilegious ways, like Wallahi, you're full of shit. Um, I guess I don't know if that's considered sacrilegious. You're like my parents would definitely get mad if they heard someone say that, but if you're a kid of religious people, that's not that crazy. That's like they always tell you that, oh, don't take the Lord's name in vain. People be like, oh, I swear to God, blah blah blah. So I guess yeah, I get what you're saying. It's Idaho. Listen, when I said you live up here, and I said you definitely wouldn't want to live here, I was talking about Idaho. So that's why I moved over to Oregon and Washington, because I'm like, there's literally no way you live in Idaho. Why do you live in Idaho, bro? Was that a choice, or was it just like this is the only place that I can live in the United States? Idaho is Idaho's something. I got some stories about Idaho, man. Ah, one of your relatives, okay. But you like it. Have you been anywhere besides Idaho? Because if you go somewhere else, you're probably gonna be like, man, fuck, Idaho sucks. There's just there's just not a lot in Idaho, man. Do you live in Boise? I feel like he has to live in Boise because if he lives anywhere else, then that really sucks. Listen, man, I went to Idaho like right when the pandemic was on a downturn, but like it was still like mandatory to wear a mask and shit. Bro, we pulled up and like the Uber was like basically like, bro, take that off, bro. Like, and we realized how conservative Idaho was. Like everywhere, like this was when like it was like mandatory. Like you had to wear that shit in restaurants and everywhere. And like they were like, "Fuck that, we're not doing it." And every single Uber would just be like, "Oh, you guys are from Washington? I used to live out there, but it was way too fucking liberal when I left." And I'll be like, "Okay, if it were more diverse, I'd live out there." There's just nothing out there, bro. Like it was just dead. Like I don't know, man. I'm from Texas, so a little spoiled. It's cool though. If you just want to live somewhere like, see, that's what I'm always torn because like the places where nothing's going on, there's also usually low crime. There's usually like can walk on the streets and not worry about anything happening to you and stuff. Like that's how it felt out there. Like I'm like, bro, who the fuck is gonna attack me out here? Like probably nobody. Um, but there's nothing to do. But then that's the thing too. When you're from somewhere else and everything's new to you, it wouldn't really matter if it was considered boring for the United States. Like someone in Colombia could say like, "Oh, like you're in the like least fun place. Like there's nothing new. There's nothing blah blah blah." But if you've never experienced this food and this food and this food, and you've never done this and you've never done salsa caleña and blah blah blah, then you're gonna be like, nah, bro, this shit's mad fun. I'm doing so much stuff I've never done before. So, kind of just depends. So it's always like so funny when people are like, I gotta get out of whatever hometown they're from because there's nothing for me here. I'm just like, bro, you about to go to another city with the same shit. It's just gonna be people that you don't know. For the past 2 years I've lived here, I have shotguns for the first time and drove dirt bikes around. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. It's just if you've never done that stuff before, then I can see why that would be cool. I mean, like everybody has a shotgun in Texas. I feel like anyone from Colombia would be bored in flyover country. It just depends, man. It depends on what you're looking for, man. Folks just be lost when they say that. Yeah, facts. But everyone does it, bro. I mean, at one point in time, I did it with my hometown, but like now I'm about to go back there, bro. But that shit is way different when you're an adult, bro. Like when you're young, you want to get away from all of that shit, bro. Especially if there's anything bad, you're just like, bro, I gotta get the fuck out of here, like, cause you can never, they'll never let you grow, bro. They'll never let you become a different person, cause they're like, nah, I remember just 3 years ago you were like this. Don't try to be like this now. And it's like, bro, I was in high school, bro. You go somewhere else, you can say whatever you want, be whoever you want. I feel like the USA is crazy and love it. Kids driving at 16 is crazy, but the drinking age is a different story. But I got my license when I was 15 years old. I was driving to school at 15 years old. Bro, since I was like 17 years old, anytime I leave ATL, I'd be like, I gotta get back. I went to Boston and LA, and I was like, I need to get back to ATL. Yeah, I feel like if you got a good head on your shoulders, bro, and you're not in serious trouble, it's gonna feel normal to want to stay home or at least go back there. But I know some people that are just like, I'll never go back to my hometown. Probably because there's been some crazy stuff and like whether it's too many bad memories or just like I ain't trying to run into somebody that I used to know or something like that. I get it, definitely. Pretty much, I think I told you before. Every single person I know from Puerto Rico is like, I'm never going back there. And I'm like, damn, bro. Esta noche vamos a partir. Wait, that one guy. Did you learn English before you went to the States, or did you go to the States and figure it out. It's like that people look at me and don't know if I'm a politician or unemployed. Yeah. Come to Texas, they're gonna assume that you're unemployed. uh, go somewhere else, be whoever. Yeah, I know like two dudes who came out of the closet like 2 minutes after arriving at the Navy. Hey, that's what's up. Good for them because, like I said, had they stayed where they was at, they probably would have felt uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing. Like, it's your life, bro. Do whatever you want to do. Um, but like I said, it's hard to be somebody else when people already have an idea of you. Um, and I like that about leaving my hometown too, bro. Like I chilled out a lot as I got older, and so I love that people that meet me now see me as a super chill dude. I will never get people that I grew up with to see me as a super chill dude. I literally can't, bro, because they know too much about me. So to them, they're always like, nah, that shit is inside of him, bro. Like, if something happens, you will see that side of him. Other people don't know. They don't know it exists. No one would try to provoke that out of me. No one will be waiting to see, like, nah, I remember this dude used to fight mad people. He used to go crazy. Like, that shit doesn't exist to other people. So that's the only thing is, like, it's just impossible. It's impossible for the people in your past to just be like, oh, he's a totally different person now. Because they know. I'm only about B2 level English right now. Okay. I wonder what your accent sounds like. It's not gonna sound like anything to you, but being in Idaho, I bet you have uh, a strange accent. Not like super strange, but my shorts are cutting my thigh. I don't know, it's like the netting or some shit. Ah. Might sound a little robotic. I don't know. People from Idaho have weird accents. Cause like the further you get in the Pacific Northwest, it's like they don't have accents. So it's strange. That in itself is strange. It's like why can't I locate where you're from? It's in his blood. All the Mexicans make fun of me for using vosotros. I would too, bro. So I feel them. I just think, bro, like I told you before, sometimes occasionally I watch like a series in Spanish, like in Spain Spanish, and I'll just be like, this is too weird, bro. Too weird. It's because I'm not familiar enough with it, right? So sometimes I miss it if they say like, I can't even think of what the fuck y'all say, bro. Like os, like that shit just. You commented like right at the same time I said it, but I hear the os and I just like it kind of just slides past me sometimes. I'm not expecting to hear it. So I'm like, oh shit, I don't realize I didn't really hear what he said. When I hear the else, I'm out. Yeah, it's different for sure. It's different, but you can't help where you're from. So, that one guy, what do you think when you hear like Mexican Spanish? Does that shit sound weird to you? I feel like it's like the British accent, basically. I mean, that's the thing though, with like even with the British accent. Some people are like, wow, this sounds really cool. And other people are like, man, this shit sounds goofy as hell. Just kind of depends on where you like. I mean, all of Spain has different accents too. Just like British people have like 20 different accents. So sometimes they sound okay. Sometimes it's just too weird. And I feel like a lot of people do the. I feel like some people do the what is this shit called? Seseo? The thing that you guys do with the. Some people do it harder than other people. And so when it's really hard, sometimes I'm like, ugh, I don't like it. Depends on the person. Some British accents are cool to me. Others are goofy, like you said. Yeah, like the Liverpool accent. That shit is so harsh, bro. They sound like they got some shit stuck. They talk like this. It always sounds like they're about to spit some shit up. I prefer the Central Mexican accent the most. Yeah, I don't know enough about Mexican accents, bro. The only Mexican accents I really know are like the most stereotypical Mexican accent, which is probably like, where would that be from? Maybe Tijuana? I don't know. But that one where they say, like, I don't even have a good example actually. And then the super fresa accent. That's the only two I already know. Rolando, how you gonna ask me Chilango? I said, I don't know, bro. But the super fresa accent, where everything they say sounds like a question, I know that one. I like the Chilangos. That's from Mexico City. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the accent I'm thinking of. No, you have a lisp in English. How old are you again? I think you're past the age of bullying, so you should be okay. Like the vids I sent you, those super fresh accents. Yeah, that. 24? Oh, you're past the age of bullying, bro. You're good. Don't worry. Yeah, you're young. But you're young, but you're past the age of bullying. If you're like 16 or something, I'd be like, oof, I don't know, bro. But nobody's gonna care that you speak with a lisp at age 24. If you went to my high school, I probably would have bullied you in a friendly way. I don't know if you'd have taken it as friendly, but I definitely made fun of people with lisp. I very specifically remember a guy named Jimmy that had a lisp. And I used to think, how cruel is it that lisp has an S in it, bro? Why would they do that? You can't even tell people what's wrong with you without saying it with a lisp, bro. What states do you recommend to visit? Well, it really just depends on what you like, man. What you want to see, what you want to do. I mean, the very most typical states that you could go to are California, New York, Texas, Florida. I would say those are commonly visited states. But if there's something specific that you like to do, there's other states that I would recommend, especially if you like Iowa. Maybe you're not really a big city person, so there's some other places to visit. You might like the Grand Canyon, Yellowstone National Park. There's a lot of, I don't know, man. The United States are huge. I think most people in the world don't realize how big the United States are. I don't even think Americans realize how big the United States are until you try to travel it, till you try to go to different places, and you're just like, holy shit, bro. The funniest thing is I have so many like British friends and friends in Europe, and they'll get to like back when I was living in the States, they would get to like Florida, and they'll be like, "Hey, bro, I'm in Miami for the next 3 days. Like, we should link up." And I'm like, "Bro, I live in Washington, but I'm nowhere near you." Like, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I mean, I figured you could." And I'm like, "No, like even a flight is like 7 hours. I'm not. No, what are you talking about, bro? I'm not paying $500 to fly across the country, lose a whole day, hang out with you for one day. Hell no, bro." But like Texas itself is 2.5 times bigger than the whole UK. So for them, they can't really conceptualize how big the United States are. Like, you can get across their whole country faster than you can get across Texas. So for them, they're like, "Oh, I'm only X amount of states over." Like, bro, that's all of Europe. It's huge. Colombia's pretty big too, actually. I assumed that the United States were a lot bigger than Colombia. Or I should say, like, I usually compare Texas to everything because most of the time Texas is bigger than people's country. And I actually was like, oh shit, like, Texas is not bigger than Colombia. Colombia is huge, bro. And so they kind of go through the same thing. They go to Europe and shit like that, and they're like, oh wow, like, you guys can go from coast to coast or whatever in like 2 or 3 hours. That's crazy. Because even like where I'm at right now, it's like I'm not even at the southernmost tip of Colombia, and I am like 19 hours away from the north coast. Yeah, Spain is one of the bigger countries, but the USA is insanely big. Yeah, man. It causes us a lot of problems because each state is basically like its own country, like literally. So the laws that apply in Iowa don't apply in the next state over. And so whenever we try to get stuff done, it's like, fuck.
De verdad, ¿tú estás seguro que está? Mire, dígame, ¿tú estás segura que estaba? Yo lo veo muy dormido, muy dormido.
Last time I was in Boise, there was a stabbing at a gas station at one of those car show off things. Boise has car shows? I'm thinking of a sideshow in my head, but I really doubt they have sideshows in Boise. But then again, I don't know. Hey, do you see a lot of black people where you're at? That's a random question, but I'm just wondering. I basically saw no black people when I was in Boise. I wonder. It was a car show. I kind of feel like it might have been a sideshow though. Just lots of Mexicans. That's interesting. I didn't know there were that many Mexicans in Idaho. That might be a new thing. Rolando, Mike, do y'all know anything about lots of Mexicans being in Idaho? That seems weird to me.
Precisamente por eso es que necesito cambiar, porque necesito una ayuda a conseguir un ginecólogo. Además, pues está también económico de los gastos de una vez.
But surely there's still a lot more white people than Mexicans, right?
Sí, por momentos en los que necesito que alguien me capacite. Y necesito 20.000 pesos.
It's like when they show the things they put on their cars. Hmm, interesting. Might just be a regular car show. I will have to see it. Chicano in Idaho in a South Park episode. Hmm. Interesting. I didn't really see any. Not that I remember. I'll have to ask but I don't remember seeing uh Mexicans out there. Not that many, anyways. I wonder, is your accent gonna change from being around so many Mexicans? And you're so young. I don't know how long you plan on staying in the United States, but if you stay for long enough, you'll probably have a completely different accent. Well, it'll be up to you. It'll be up to you if you want to keep your accent or not. But it's real easy to lose your accent. I still practice with some of my family, so we'll have to see. Yeah, it'll be interesting because I wonder, because like you said, like using vosotros and stuff like that, it's gonna make it difficult for you to be understood. So one day I wonder if you're gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna give in and just start saying ustedes. I love 90 Day Fiance. What level Spanish are you? Like B2, C1? I have no idea, bro. Not trying to be funny. I don't take like tests or anything like that. I just talk like don't know. I would. I'll do you a favor, bro. I normally don't do this because I hate classifying myself and then giving people room to be like, I don't agree with that. But if I had to say, I think I would say C1. I think. I think B2 is a little too low. My opinion. This is ustedes o vosotros en countries que vocean like Argentina. No, it's still ustedes. Only Spain uses vosotros, which is kind of funny when you put it like that. You would think that they would. You know, honestly, when I really think about it, I don't know shit about vosotros, bro. Give me an example of a conjugation. I need to see it. It's like I know it, but I can't think of it. If I see it, I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah. I'll wait on one of y'all. Because they use vos here, which other people think is vosotros. And I try to tell them, like, no, voseo is not vosotros.
Yes. Yes.
The funny thing with the way I speak, you delete like N words at each syllable. So I would say, votro? That's crazy. See, here they aspirate S's. Um, so if they did, well, I'll tell you like with the word nosotros, right? Instead of saying nosotros, here they say nosotros.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah. It was nice to spend time with my
It's funny because sometimes if they type it, they type it with a J,
like
like nosotros.
was missing you.
But they don't say the S at the end either, so nosotros.
No, not at all. Yeah, I really did.
Bro, do you listen to flamenco music? I fuck with flamenco music.
She was out. I was agreeing with some of the things she was saying. And obviously if I agreed with what you were saying about my mom, I would
The
also.
only N word you can't get rid of is the N. But that makes sense.
I didn't mean to make you feel like that. And I'm sorry for making you feel that, and I didn't mean to make you feel like that. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I think in this instance, like, I do understand how maybe he may have feel, it was him and not
Ooh, okay, tell me some of your favorite songs. I love that shit, bro.
most of the time we
I
used to
love,
say
I think it's because I, like, well, you don't know this. My dad speaks Arabic, right? So growing up, we listened to a lot of Arabic music, and it sounds very similar. Like the way, especially like the way like Gitanos sing, it sounds very, very similar. It's got like the same little. En la brisa marinera.
yeah.
Oh.
It's like I am really fighting for Rob in our relationship. It's like the way he's treating me, I don't really know why I keep
I like listening to street guitar players the most.
feel bad and make me feel bad. I do have
My
limits.
favorite, Nobody Loves Me Like You. Who's that by?
And
And is that the real title or did you just translate that?
I understand him.
Because I'm going to look this up later, so I need you to tell me the real title.
Say is, I'm sorry for being disrespectful to your mom. It's still my mom at the end of the day. It's like you don't have to apologize to me. Yeah, thank you. That's all I can ask for. It's like I'm willing to move past it. It's like yesterday when I was thinking about you, I was missing you a lot. And then this morning I woke up, I saw on Facebook that he was up to full posting a lot of posts, which are obviously
Requestfully yours. And it's the song is literally Nobody Loves Me Like You. I'm gonna look it up. What kind of work do you do? I am a strength and conditioning coach, so I train people. I also teach English sometimes. What kind of work do you do? Let's see, 10:20. I'll probably stay on here too. 10:45. Engineering student. Are you at the University of Idaho or at a community college? Or I guess there's also no. You wouldn't be at Boise. You said that was like 45 minutes away. I'm interested to know where you go to school at. Studied in Barcelona for 2 years. Now I'm abroad in Boise. Mm. Okay, so your classes, I'm guessing they're English. Is that tough, bro? That has to be incredibly difficult if you're learning English. But I guess a lot of engineering would be math, wouldn't it? Red Bull te da alas. Kinda math is math. Okay, that makes sense. Rolando, you'll have to text me that. There's no way I'm gonna remember that later. But I love music, man. I listen to all kinds of music. I get recommendations from people and I go check it out. And if I like it, then I look for other music like it. If I don't, then I don't. But man, I listen to the most random stuff. Do I listen to Juan Gabriel? Here's the thing. If I like the song, yes. I'm not really a fan of like any people. There's no one that I'm like, oh, I can always listen to them. But If I like the song, then I like the song. So you have to tell me a specific song, and I could tell you. But like I said, I love music, so pretty much I can listen to anybody. I just have to find a song from them that I like. You know who I think should go back to flamenco? Rosalia. She was way better at her original genre of music. Yeah, Rolando, you just gotta send it to me, bro, because I'm not gonna remember. Hasta que te conocí. Okay. I'll try to remember that and look it up. I don't think I know that song. I don't think. But I will check it out if I remember. Hasta que te conocí. I have a pretty good memory, but I can only remember so much. So I have to kind of give certain things importance. So I'll try not to remember any of Rolando's stuff because he's gonna text it to me. So I'll try to remember anything that you tell me. So I got Hasta que te conocí locked in. Yeah, Rolando, do you listen? This dude on 90 Day Fiance is converting into Islam to marry this girl. And it's hilarious because I just think he's doing it for her. Anything that I have to do before I leave the States? I have to think about that one, man. Not very sure. There's just so much to do, man. I need to look up stuff in Iowa to tell you to do. But I think if you get to go to New York, you should check out the Empire State Building. Niagara Falls if you can. What else? Sorry, not Iowa, Idaho. I meant Idaho. I need to look up stuff in Idaho. There's some things in Idaho that you can do, but I gotta look them up. You're pretty close to Washington and Oregon too. There's a lot of natural, cool stuff out there. Mount Rainier in Washington is a big ass mountain. If you got the courage to climb up there. I looked up fun things to do here and the church showed up. Nah, I'll look it up for you. So I have to wait till I see you next time. But I'll look up some stuff tonight or tomorrow. I got some friends that live out there too. What? I don't want you to like completely give away your location. I think that's unsafe. But uh, if you're close to any of my friends there, I can tell them maybe to show you some shit. But you said you're like 45 minutes away from Boise. I don't know, but I need to know like what city so I can ask them if they're close to it.
Okay, Seth, I am Citra's father. Just a message to you. Please take care of my child. Love him. The language barrier is like we might as well be both talking to a brick wall, and Google Translate does not help. Like that just makes it worse because that doesn't even get it right. Love him until death comes in the sense that until he gets old, until grandparents have grandchildren. A lot of times it'll even put like different words, completely different meaning, but for the most part you can kind of get the gist of what someone's saying. Don't waste
Cool,
my
man.
child. Okay.
I've never heard of that, but I'll ask them. I'll ask them.
Yeah, I want to be like you and Citra's mom. Like you guys were the perfect example, and that's how I want our family to be. Sejujurnya aku ingin menjadi seperti kamu dan ibu jeruk seperti kalian adalah contoh sempurna dan itulah
I'm
yang
looking at
aku
two people
inginkan
talk to
untuk
each
rumah
other
kita.
using Google Translate, and it's hilarious. That shit's never translate correctly.
Saya percaya dengan apa yang hari ini maupun jam ke depan tanggung jawab
Especially like the further the languages away from English, the worse it is.
Bismillah. Aku yakin bisa menjaga anak saya. Okay, Seth, I believe what you said to me. In the next few hours, I'll be responsible. Citra answered. I will leave it to you. I believe in you. You are
This
sure
is mad funny on Twitter. Lots of people will like. I'm guessing they use Google Translate. They use some translator and they post on Twitter in Spanish. And they pretend like they can speak Spanish. And I'm just like, this translation is so bad. There's no way you speak Spanish.
bisa menerima apa yang menjadi niatan dan pemikiran. I promise I'll take care of you. Thank God, or I mean Allah, that He gave me His blessing. Just everything we've been through, and like a real father-son bond, and it's just great.
Yo, what time is it in Idaho right now? It's gotta be like,
It's a special moment for both.
what, 8:30?
Go check on ladies. I can't believe I'm about to be a married man already, and
One guy at the place I worked at tried using Google Translate to talk Spanish to me. Then I started speaking it to him. He's so confused. Yeah. Yeah, man. Languages on paper and languages in real life are very different.
it would kind of bring shame and disrespect on their family.
Oh, it's 9:30?
Still lose Citra and something big.
Oh, so Idaho's actually on.
I can't mess this up.
Oh, you're on Mountain Time. I thought it was West Coast time for some reason. Ah, interesting. You're in a very rare time zone. Even that, actually, people don't understand that the United States has so many time zones because it's so big.
I mean, this is what Michigan is. Look at today. Look at this beautiful, sunny, warm day. This is what you can expect from the summer.
Idaho has two time zones. Yeah, that makes sense. It will partially be in the mountain time zone and then partially in the west. I was about to say, the closer parts of Idaho to Washington have to be West Coast time. That would be too weird.
From my side, this is the best place I found, and also, like, it fits our budget. I want you to look at this place.
Imagine that. Imagine being where the time zone shifts. You're like one house over from another time zone. There's this couple on 90 Day Fiance, and she speaks Spanish, and he doesn't speak any Spanish, and this shit is hilarious. Never thought of that. That would be cool. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Especially like doesn't necessarily have to be time zones either. If you live like really close to a state border, then you can see the line where it says you're now in wherever. So that's pretty weird, but it is cool. Mike said he would be back, but I think he went to sleep. Let's see, it's 10:35. I think I'm gonna last until 10:45, and then that would have been a good live session. Unless random people show up. You seem like a chill dude. I respect that. Thanks, man. I think I'm pretty chill sometimes, most of the time. How'd you find my channel, by the way? It was recommended. Very interesting. I wonder what you watch that recommended you my channel, that made YouTube recommend you my channel. That's interesting. Well, I will tell you, like I tell every other person on here that speaks English as a second language, if you ever have any questions about something that you heard, especially something that's like hard to find, slang or something like that. I don't know what kind of music you listen to, but if you ever have questions, come right into the chat, bro, and say, hey, what does this mean? And I will do my best to answer the question. But you do remember Dance with the Devil by Immortal Technique, though, right? Duh, bro. Who doesn't remember that song? Oh, yeah. The devil asks to dance with you, you better say never. Because a dance with the devil might last you forever. Could you teach me some American slang? That's tough, man. It depends on where you're at, and it depends on like the people that you hang around and what you're trying to say. Like, for instance, let me think of something that's not super outdated. Let me think of something that's current. All right. Do you know what cap means? You might know that. You're 24. You might have heard that before. You know what it means if someone says that's cap? Think so? Cap is a lie. So if you say you're capping, you're telling the person you're lying. Or if someone says something, you could just be like, cap, that's cap. That's just, it's a lie. Uh, so that's one. That's definitely for young people, though. That's people like your age group. If you say that to somebody that's like over 35, they're probably going to be confused. What else? Do you know what dope means? Has two definitions, but I came across Quick Temper via the interview with Mike Ben. That was so long ago. Yeah, Mike need to do another one actually. We're supposed to link up in Texas, I think, so maybe we'll just do one in person, something like that. Lots of people say Raz or Riz. It's definitely Riz. Riz is kind of like flirting. It comes from the word charisma. Santana, what's up, bro? Santika. I'm good, man. I'm feeling better, man. I'm walking and shit, man. It's a slow recovery, but I'm walking and shit. So I'm gonna be out of here in like the next month, bro. I'm going back to Texas, so. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better, bro. Thanks for asking. Yeah, the song sampled is the song I sent you. If you like Gypsy Kings and Mariachi, I think you'll love it. Alright, I'm gonna check that out. For sure. Yo, you know in English, gypsy is a slur, bro? The word gypsy is a slur. Jalen, do you know what a tuna? Like, is that the actual spelling of it? If that's the actual spelling, then no, I don't. I know what a tuner is. Well, I'm going to bed. All right, man. Take it easy. Like I said, if you ever got any questions, let me know. I'm gonna try to remember those songs that you said. I remember Hasta que te conocí for sure. I'm gonna listen to that tonight. So, salute. Have a good night. Now I'm waiting for Rolando to tell me what a tuna is. I'm gonna subscribe to you. Salute. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for stopping in, man. How's life out there? You in Miami, right? It's like Renaissance group music? Nah, I never heard of that, bro. That sounds strange. Tuna. It's the same style as those might think of when you think Renaissance music. I don't know what I think of when I think Renaissance music. When's the next live? Sunday. Sunday, I'll be on around the same time. Sunday, like 8 o'clock. It's the precursor to mariachi. So it's French. I heard mariachi came from French. French people, right? I don't know. It was some Europeans in Mexico that they got that shit from. Giselle, what's poppin'? What's cracking? Ok, dale, bro. Nos vemos. I wish I could hear this girl on 90 Day Fiance right now. What is her name? If you want, I'll send it to you. She speaks Spanish, but she speaks it with like an American like intonation. Like she actually like speaks fluidly, but that shit is just horrible. Same shit, different day. That's the most American thing you could say. Its origin was students who couldn't afford to go to university, so they played for money in the streets. Nah, but that shit came from it didn't start in Mexico, bro. If you look at the outfits that they wear, you could tell it's like the like French military outfits. It's like Canadian French. You don't know what you're listening to. Yeah, Canadian French. I mean, not that I speak French, but I've heard it, and it's different. I never said tuna started in Mexico. Oh, I mean, maybe I misread your message. It's French with a completely different accent. Yeah, accents are weird, man. Very, very weird. Right now, I'm listening to an American and a British person talk to each other, and she's from Leeds, so they have completely different accents. I was the one who told you about the mariachi French connection, remember? No, I don't remember that. I think you might have brought it up, but I think I already knew that. It's possible, you could be right, but I watched the video about it. Maybe I watched the video after you told me that. I can't say for sure that you didn't tell me that. If you say you told me that, I'll believe you. I don't like mariachi much just because you're a racist. Why do you hate Mexicans? Too much of everything in one place. What do you like, Giselle? Simple stuff. Like what? You know, my physical therapist has a friend who is a salsa superstar in France. He makes salsa music in French. Is that weird? Like she showed me it. I looked it up and I was like, this is just weird. Some stuff it just seems like it's not supposed to be in another language. Yes, that guy. That's her friend. Like they're really good friends. She said, how you know that? Do you listen to that shit? It just sounded weird to me because I don't speak French. So, and I wonder like what gave him that idea. I know someone who plays the drums with him. Remember? No, how would I remember that? I didn't even know who that was uh, until my therapist told me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When she said it, I was like, I feel like I heard a story like this before. What if y'all are all connected in some weird way? Yuri knows her. She knows someone else that knows Aisha. That knows you. What if you know my therapist and you don't even know it? What if you met her before or something? Look up French pronunciation of marriage. No, just tell me. Giselle can tell us because she speaks French. And you don't, Rolando. Giselle is the genius of the chat. She's Jason Bourne. Your friend, your friend told me some secrets. I'm not gonna tell you what she told me. You just have to wonder. Oh, she knows too much. She does. She does. And now I know a lot. Have y'all seen the trailer for this movie with Zendaya? Like she's like a tennis coach or some shit. I can't figure out like what this movie's about. 365 guy do a backflip. You see, I would, but I would break my legs. That was crazy with capital K. Oh, Giselle, that reminds me. I just thought of this because you said K. When I started the class with her, this took me like 5 minutes to figure out. By the way, I just thought she was incredibly nervous or something. But I had the slide up, and I changed the slide, and then I was hovering the mouse over like a letter. I said, "How do you pronounce this?" And she just was like, not saying anything. And I said, "How do you pronounce this letter?" And she said a random letter, and I was like, "No." I'm like, "This letter," and like eventually I was like, what are you seeing right now?" And then she told me what she was seeing, and I'm like, "That's not even the slide, that's on the thing." And so there was like some kind of glitch that day where if the slide was up, if I hit next, the slide wouldn't change on her screen, even though I was sharing my screen. It was the weirdest thing ever. I don't know why it was happening, but basically every single time I wanted to change the slide, I had to exit and go back into it, and then it would actually change. Very, very strange. So, do you see how Mexicans get the word mariachi from mispronouncing the French word? However the fuck. No, it wasn't my connection. I got pure, perfect Wi-Fi. Don't disrespect my connection. It was not my connection. Hey. I said I was gonna get off at 10:45 and it's 10:52. So I'll make a deal. Let's go to 11 o'clock. But then I'm gonna really get off. She's got Starlink. I don't care. My shit's better. I don't even know what mine is, but it's better than Starlink. Cause you know what? Last time hers was messing up, and she told me the same thing. She said, "I got Starlink. You shouldn't be doing this." And I was like, "I don't even know what Starlink is." It's not mine. Trust me, mine's good. And I don't even think it was the connection because, like I said, if I exited, like, all right, imagine I'm presenting the slideshow, right? If I exit, then go to the next slide, it'll show. But if the slideshow was up and I clicked on the next slide, it would not show. Also, I told her I was gonna try some ayahuasca, but I was like, Give me 10, 20 years. I'm not ready yet. I don't care, Giselle. My Wi-Fi is good. My Wi-Fi is as good as it gets. Trust me. I probably have Starlink. I don't know what that is, but I bet you I have it.
A lot has happened, but I still obviously love him and I love him. I still want to marry him. It does that we have all these issues going on. Like his
So what is the
situation,
secret? I'm not telling you.
why is he broke up getting back with my mom?
This is my secret.
You know, I'm still with him and I still want to marry him.
Elon Musk one, Neuralink. I would never trust that guy to put something in my head. Good way to explode your brain. She knows too much. This girl is 36 and he's 54, bro. And he thinks that she doesn't want him for the papers.
Then you should do more because
She's 36 and she's pretty. And he's 54
the queen drinks the last.
and he's ugly. He's ugly and he be wearing a fedora.
It's so busy just planning and putting this wedding all together. I pick up a dress.
And she's all like done up, like surgeries and stuff.
But if it was
He has a little something. Yeah, it's a little something. It's called papers and money. But here's the thing, he don't even have that much money because she hit up her ex dude to pay for her titties. And then he got real mad 'cause he was like, why would you get money from another man to get a boob job? And she's like, well, you said you didn't have the money.
So the ceremony, you can see it starts at 4:40.
But that's their ticket to the United States.
Like a social hour. This is all the food and we're gonna have this top-notch chef at the wedding venue. He's cooked for the royal family before, so we're gonna be
She's from Panama City. And then there's this other girl on here from Colombia, and she's the same way. Like, her dude, he's whack as fuck.
I am vegan. That means that I don't eat anything that comes from animals, and that includes meatballs, and you don't know this. I'm vegan. This is something that
Mike Ben's texting me, but he's not at a live chat.
have a conversation with you.
I wonder what he's saying. I like ugly men. Oh my god. I like ugly men, same as handsome.
I really appreciate that, and that's why we have vegan for your food.
I don't like ugly people.
Thank you. I should be thankful then. There's gonna be quite a few guests there besides us. My family probably not likely want to eat vegan. They want to eat regular food. But how do you know? We're not vegan like you. Yeah, but this is a top-notch chef. It's not that they're gonna be eating lettuce.
Lettuce.
Italian food when we get together.
I don't care.
Well, they can eat Italian vegan.
Well, good luck with your
You are telling me that this is
ugly men.
top-notch chef that he cooked for the queen. If he is so talented, the chef will have no problem preparing
Her English is really good though.
legendary vegan dishes. Okay?
So this dude's never gonna learn Spanish because he doesn't have to.
All the gas and me.
There's one guy on this show whose girl doesn't speak English, and he's doing pretty good with his Spanish.
My family, and you're trying to decide what we're gonna eat. That's not fair to us. We're an Italian family, and that's what us Italians do. We love our Italian food, especially at like major
It's so
events
fucking
like
ugly,
wedding.
bro.
Not vegan food.
I've never seen men leave a beautiful girl by another normal one. You don't know enough men then. I've seen it all the time. Dudes cheat with the ugliest girls.
Don't swear. Because you make me so mad all the time. You're making
Pretty is not all that matters. No, it's not all that matters, but it's important though.
Because I'm not included in that. Fix the menu, fix the menu,
Attraction is
makes
important.
every decision first and thinks about me second.
If somebody told me I was
Because
ugly,
now,
if
because my
the
family
person I was
sees
with
it,
told me that
because
they
my
didn't think
husband sees
that
it,
I was,
so even if they don't have a
they called me
policy
ugly,
against
I
it,
would want to leave. It's very crazy.
there's no negotiation
But
with new memories. I'm trying to have
that's not your charger.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
it is. I let you borrow it.
This is your charger.
Oh, that's your charger.
No.
I already told you.
I'm gonna use this. How come? Because it's important.
Okay, if the wedding is for us,
That is the laws of nature. That's just how we're built. It's something that you can bypass. You can say you don't care, but
and if you're doing this to me,
the first thing when you see someone, you say, I think this person's attractive or not attractive. If you have to get past that, then to me, there's always going to be something fundamentally off because you don't even look at them and want them. I will say that women are a little bit better at that than men. Like you can say like, oh, like I'm attracted to him because of X, Y, and Z, but dudes are not like that. They're not gonna get with somebody ugly and just be like, you know what? She's so attracted to me because it is. Like, no, she's still ugly.
you didn't really show me at the first, yeah, but I'm glad that we're finally here at the most and have my family that can see you comfort me.
I'd really like both my parents to be there when I convert. Even if they don't agree with it, it's a big moment for me and her. And her parents are there.
I might like the guy, but the others might think that is ugly. No, but it's different for other people to think he's ugly. If you think he's ugly, then that's not good. I can't say it's not good, but I think it's weird. Oh no, it's 11 o'clock. I said I was gonna get off at 11. Well, I think only Rolando and Giselle are in here, so I have both of y'all's numbers, so I'm about to get off. That has a double meaning. That sounded really sick. I'm about to exit the live stream. I'm not about to get off. So I will talk to y'all on Sunday. Have a great night.